Okay, so welcome along then to our first esports event on F1 2020 from the All Stars Racing F1 League. Sorry about the late start on qualifying, but we just missed about a few minutes, so it seems to be a wet qualifying going through so far. And guys are out on track, checking out the track as they are. They've had some practice since most of the guys have gotten the game. So let's see. We have Nitro already out of the session, and let's see how well lap times are going to be on this new track on F1 2020. So I've driven here myself. It's been a pretty interesting lap for the little bit of practice that I've actually had on it, but it's a fun track to drive. That's Beefy going a little wide there. I haven't driven here in the wet so far, so I can't actually give you too much information on how the track does feel going through the wet, but I'm quite sure it's not going to be as good as in the dry, because this is a pretty fast circuit during a dry race. So I'm not sure how well the cars are going to fare, being that it is fully wet right now. Artemis is out. He made a 125.2, was up in P2. So just a few drivers have made lap time so far for qualifying. We still got just under about 11.5 minutes to go, and let's see how well everyone else is going to do. Again, I apologize for the late start, guys. I did have the PS4 on, but I didn't get to start the stream just on time. But we are live now and going, so let's see how well of a race we will have today. So this is basically like a preseason testing for the guys. So we just decided to do a preseason race. They voted on the track as far as I know, and they came up with Zandvoort. I was actually hoping they would choose this track as well. It's a pretty fun track to drive. So we should have more esports event coming up pretty soon, but for now it's going to be Zandvoort, and then we go into the regular season, which will begin shortly too for the league. We got Milan now into P1 with a 122.8. Now that's a pretty more decent time. Yeah, guys, so as I was saying, we got Night Shadow and Artemis out of the session so far. Shadow was, well, he wasn't able to make a lap time, so I guess he'll be starting from the back of the grid. So we have a few times quite in now. So the fastest time so far is Milan with his 122. Beefy is in second with a 125.2. Artemis still up in P3, Battery down with 125.9 in P4. Got Jonathan with a 127. And Jay and Ace will both with a 128. Jay is currently on another outlap. Really looking forward to see how this race is gonna go, guys. It should be a pretty good one, I gotta tell you that, because from the track I've driven it myself, so I know how fun it is to drive around here, but I'm not sure it's that fun during the wet. So I didn't get on in time to see whether we're gonna have a dry race as yet or not. If I get any word from any of the drivers on chat, I'll let you know. But as far as I know, it should be a good race either way, because it is a pretty good track. I gotta say, between this and the Vietnam circuit, Hanoi, the way I did a race on earlier today, I gotta say I much prefer here. But let's see how it gets to when this league gets to that race at Vietnam. It's gonna be the third race, I believe, after Bahrain. And then we'll come back around to Zandvoort as our round 5 race. So all the cars will be featuring the new liveries for the F1 2020. The only update I think we have not received on F1 2020 as yet is the black livery that for the Mercedes. As you see Mercedes going there. Yeah, we haven't received the update patch for that one as yet, but from what I hear from Codemasters, it's coming pretty soon. So we're gonna have that. I guess you're gonna have the drivers with their suits as well in black. So as everything goes, it's going to be updated. So I see there's a new track that might be added for the F1 2020 calendar for the year in Italy. So from what people are saying, it takes about a year for Codemasters to actually develop these tracks into the game. So that's going to probably take some time to get in for us to get as a patch actually. So I wouldn't expect that this year. Maybe for F1 2021 if there are no new tracks for that year. So maybe then. But for now, I think we'll have to do with this. It would be pretty fun to see that track added in even later down in the year if possible. I don't know if Codemasters can actually get that done for us, but hopefully they can. That would be pretty interesting to actually get to race there. But for as far as it stands, let's see. So we have Duncan and CB are yet to make a lap time. Everyone typically around the 124s to 128s. So it just goes to show you how good some of these guys are in the wet. Milan seems to be pretty good with a 122. The only guy holding any lap time in the 122 right now. We got Beefy is the only 123. Then we got 124 from Riley there, Matt Riley. Artin is now down to P4 with his 125. He's out of the session, so he'll not be able to make another lap time. So yeah guys, this is basically our preseason testing for the league, All Stars Racing F1. So guys are pretty good. We got 11 drivers on track. We just got about 5.5 minutes left on qualifying, and then we get on to the race. I did not get yet to ask if we're having a dry race or not. Let me just try to see if I can get that information for you guys, because I didn't get on in time to have a look at that and what the conditions would be. Alright, I just got confirmation from one of our drivers. It is going to be a dry race, so it's actually pretty good to hear that right now. Being the first race we're going to have on Zandvoort, I think I prefer it to be a dry race as well. It's going to be pretty high speed going into some of these sections here, and it's a pretty curvy track, as I like to call it. But it's actually really fun to drive in the dry. I haven't tried it in the wet as yet, but I'll have to give that a go and see how slippery it is on track. But so far so good for most of our drivers here. Pretty good lap times, and we still have Duncan yet to make a lap time. He's in the pits currently. Hopefully he can get out in the next 4 minutes to make another, actually make a lap time for us, or he'll be starting down in 10th. So we get Battery and an outlap on Inters now, trying to see if the track has actually dried up a little bit for that. Sorry I haven't been switching between cars. For you to guys just at least have a look at the liveries for the F1 2020 cars. So that's a Renault for Beefy. Oh, and that's Matt Riley spinning off. Probably getting some damage off the wall there. He is currently in P3 though, and Matt Riley doing pretty good. New driver for the league. I have not seen racing before, but hopefully he'll get a good result off of this race here. Yeah, better be in 5th. And that's a Williams. Love the rainbow color of the halo, it's pretty nice. So new liveries on the cars for F1 2020, pretty good, pretty decent. I know a lot of people want to see the black for the Mercedes. I don't know, hoping they're getting that, I guess. But I think the most fun part for a lot of people right now, I don't know, the most fun part for me for this game so far has been in my team career mode. It's been really fun, I gotta say. I haven't tried the regular career mode as yet. I think everyone's basically doing in my team right now, as well as practicing for league racing. So that was supposed to be what the Mercedes looked like for F1 2020, and that's Mercedes going off track there. And someone else is off track. That was Barnaby. Barnaby is out of the session. Guess he threw himself into one maybe. He did retire. This is the AlphaTauri. Pretty nice looking car. It looks like I'll be starting my regular career with an AlphaTauri maybe, because this vote on the Facebook page seems to be going towards that. Anyway, just about 2 minutes more to go for qualifying here, guys, and we'll see where everyone will start. It looks like Milan might be starting P1. That's CB and his Mercedes going down. Driving as Hamilton, I assume, because of the 44. I was just having a look at CB going into the pit lane. I haven't actually driven into the pit lane manually myself as yet. Just been doing flying laps on the track as I did. Actually just did a quick race only. But I'll get there pretty soon. So 122 fastest lap so far, with just under a minute left in qualifying here. Duncan did not still make a time. Let's see, he is currently out on track. And here's Renault. So the track has dried a bit for the Inters, I guess, but let's see how well the time will go on it. So the Beefy is still out, doing an outlap on Inters right now as well. So not that easy as you would expect to keep grip in the wet around here, I'm guessing. Some of these curves, I know you can ride them, some of them you cannot. It was a pretty tricky section here going through for the finish line. On my first go at it, I kind of put the car in the wall a little bit. And that's Duncan in P1 with a 122.8 on Inters. That's pretty decent, man. That's a pretty good lap. So the track has dried up a little bit. Duncan has taken advantage of using Inters over Milan. Milan is... Let's see, he is on track, but he's still in wet, so he's don't think he's going to be able to beat that time. And he seemed like he did just go a bit off track just a little bit, so Duncan seems to be, he will be starting in P1. Pretty decent qualifying so far, we gotta say, guys. Good job from everyone. A few of the drivers did get taken out on the qualifying session here, but they still got a lap time in. Night Shadow was the only one not able to make a qualifying time. And that is the end of qualifying, guys. So let's see the results as our final table comes up, just to confirm everyone's position for the start of the race here in Zandvoort. First ever race we're going to be having for the league at Zandvoort, actually. So yeah guys, some really strange angles for turns, but it's a pretty good track. And that is the end of qualifying. That our starting grid will be as Duncan in P1, Milan P2, Beefy is P3, Matt Riley in P4, Arten is P5, Jay 6th, Jonathan is P7, Battery is P8, CB is down to P9, Ace is P10, and Shadow will start and P11 with no time posted. Our fastest time here in the wets has been a 122.8 from Duncan, and that was on inters. Before that was a 122.885 for Milan on full wets. So let's see how well these guys are going to do in the race session. Alright guys, the cars are going to be off on their formation lap. We'll just follow as they go along around the track. So the very first formation lap for our Esports F1 2020 series being done from the guys at the All Stars Racing F1 League. So 11 drivers today. Track looks pretty good, dry. Should be a very, very good race. So pretty quick lap around here, just over a minute, about a minute 10 seconds to a minute 13 seconds. I know most of the guys have been doing. I've been doing a minute 12, I think was my fastest. So they're already around the track and getting ready to go. We'll just have to wait until Shadow, which will be the last car, is placed on that grid, and we should be ready to go here. So good luck to all the drivers, and let's have a good race. A clean one. I know some of the guys will still be getting used to how the feel is in the cars. And guys, here we go. That's it guys, it lights out and away we go. That is a predictive stop strategy. That's a new feature I've seen been added into this. And why are we suddenly on lap 2 already? What's been happening? Okay, so it's currently, let's see, I think it's setting out. I don't know, there's some sort of glitch just happened there because it was just wait for a second, but we're fine now. Milan is out in front in P1. Duncan is P2 with a 1.6 seconds behind Milan right now. That's Milan just going over a curb there, and there are your other cars going. So this is a new feature I actually like. So it's a predictive pit stop strategy being shown on my screen. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with that. It's usually shown on Formula 1 graphics, so we seem to be having that now. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Sorry if I seem confused, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what's been happening for just for a second there. But it's now Beefy up into P1. Matt Riley's now up into P1. Why is it changing so much now? It might be... Okay, let's get here. Okay, I think it's settled again. We might be having some glitches happening. Maybe on my end, I'm not sure. Or if it's, I really can't be sure what's happening. We'll have to look at the video and review that, see at the end what exactly happened there. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with what's on screen right now. It does seem that Milan is out in P1, Beefy is out in P2, Matt Riley P3, Jonathan is down to P4. We're on lap 3, if that is correct. Duncan is P5, started P1. This is the AlphaTauri of Duncan. He's actually pretty... Let's see. Okay, so this is Jonathan. I wonder why I was getting confused. That's what I said. I knew Duncan was in a Renault out in front. So my bad on that. I was getting a little mixed up here. I was just trying to figure something out. Okay, so we seem to be running fine so far. Not glitchy at the moment. This seemed to be glitching out for a second there though. Okay, so let's start from the top. We're in P1. We have Milan out in front. 3.4 seconds is the lead he has over Beefy right now. So Beefy is nowhere to be seen behind him coming around those few corners. Got Riley chasing down Beefy, just about 2.7 seconds behind. Milan seems to be working to try and improve the gap between himself and Beefy down in P2. I think the closest gap we have right now, so this is Duncan chasing down Jonathan, just about a second behind now. Might be in the other zone. Not sure if he passed the detection point in less than a second. We have a safety car out. I was just about to go to the night shadow, so something has happened. And there is Night Shadow at the side of the track. He did seem to go into the wall. I'm not sure if he had an incident with someone. Got some pit stops probably happening now. Batteries in the pits. Partners went in the pits as well. Got Milan out front trying to catch up with the safety car. Beefy is about 6 seconds behind him, trying to catch him up right now. Everybody's on line up behind the safety car and get ready for that rolling start. A restart, I should say. Not restart, just a start back. Beefy pits. Milan has pitted as well. So Milan is actually going to get back out in front. He had enough time to do that. Jordan actually went past Milan because of that pit stop. So this is Jordan out in front in P1 now because he didn't make a pit stop as yet. So there we go. Artemis has made 2 pit stops so far. So we still got CB and Duncan down in the pits. So Jonathan is now behind the safety car. He is leading this race under safety car regulations so far. Milan is now down P2 because he chose to go into the pits, change his tires. Beefy is down P3. We got Matt in P4. CB is P5. Jay is P6. Duncan currently P7. Bad B in P8 and Ace in P9. And Arten is down in P10. Ace is still in the pits, I believe. Coming out now. But he will get passed by Artemis, who is going by the pit straight now, going around the first turn. So Ace is now down in P10. Artemis goes up to P9. And we're following Jonathan and the rest of the guys just going behind the safety car. Following their speed limit, as they will have to, because they cannot overtake the safety car. So safety cars for whoever is joining us now is because of that incident with Shadow, of him being on the side of the track. We're not sure how that incident happened as yet. We will be getting back to racing in just a few laps time. Maybe one more lap to go under the safety car regulations. So Johnson on fresh tires as well here, probably made a stop before, just as that incident happened. So he did get to go passing up Milan in P2, and Milan is gonna be right on his tail, be ready to get a jump on him as soon as this race is restarted here after the safety car goes in. And Milan has changed the hard, so there might be a plan there to go all the way to the end of the race on those tires. We're not sure. Being it's F1 2020, guys, I'm not sure how the tire degradation is on the online lobbies as yet, but we're gonna have more information on that as we have a look at how these guys use those up, because there is the possibility of him and Beefy going all the way to the end on those tires. CB is on hards as well, so is Duncan, as well as Artemis. So quite a few guys have chosen to go on hards on this safety car pit stop that they made. We should be okay. Safety car is in this lap, guys, so we will be getting back to racing here. Should be a pretty interesting start behind the safety car again here. Jotun just holding the guys back just a little bit as the safety car does go away into the distance there. Coming around the last corner here now to get the restart going, and they cannot get racing until they cross that line, and there they go, they are back racing. So Milan is going to try and get a go at Jonathan here, just does not get it done into the first turn. That was Matt getting a move on Beefy there, I believe there. Beefy is out, Beefy is out. Milan is trying to break the gap down out in front between himself and Jonathan right now. Matt is pretty close to Milan as well. Might be trying to get a move done going into this corner. He does dive down the inside. Will the move hold though? Yes, it does for the second. So that puts Matt up into P2. Milan is now down into P3. He might be trying to make for that, but Matt was on soft tires, but it was 8 laps old. However, it still did give him enough pace. Going down to turn 1 there, they just follow each other going. No overtakes move actually tried as yet. Matt is getting pretty close to Jonathan. Might be trying for a move coming up on a few corners here now. Milan is still chasing them right behind. So this is a pretty good battle going on for P1. So far we've lost 2 drivers. Beefy and Shadow are out of the race. Might have been an incident with Beefy there. We did not get to get that on the stream. However, it did not cause another safety car, so I was not on track to block any sort of racing, so that's fine. Matt is having a look down the inside, going on Jonathan here. He might be trying to get a move done. That's right on board. He is going for it on this occasion, and they do touch. Jonathan does get a little bit off track. Matt does have to go on him using probably overtake going through here. Oh, so we can have a look at who's using overtake or not. So that's Matt using overtake going down the straight. He barely has any left, and that's Milan trying to get back P2. For Jonathan, does get it done for the moment. There comes your top 3. That's Matt in P1, Milan down in P2. We still have Jonathan in P3 going, trying to get back his position right now. As I said, guys, a pretty fast-paced track, pretty good racing we should expect happening here, and that's what we're having going so far. Duncan just got a move done off of a CB. CB is going to try and get that back, but of course Battery is just behind him, trying to get a move done himself. Ace and Artness are going at it here. Artness is currently behind Ace going. Does have BRS. Has overtake to use, but hasn't used it as yet. About 60% of BRS. Trying to go on the inside. Does get it done. I think CB might have clipped the wall just a little bit there. Might have lost a little bit front wing. Yeah, he did lose the right side end plate on the front wing. Alright, so we got Matt out in P1. Softs are 16 laps old, so he's gonna pit after pit pretty soon. I don't know how long he's gonna be able to hold on to those tires. He is currently finding out with Milan right now, and that's Matt going into the wall. He is out of the race. They did have a little bit of contact going there, so Milan is now P1, Johnson P2. Matt is definitely out of the race with that incident. They were fighting pretty hard at it, but those tires were pretty old as well. We're not going to sure how that one is going to go down with the guys as well as yet, but that's going to be post-race. He'll take care of that. So we still got Jonathan about 3.8 seconds behind of Milan right now, and he just goes wide on the corner there. Does catch it back in time though, still going at it. 3.1 seconds behind Milan. We got Duncan in P3, another 3 seconds behind, gotta say. And we got Battery catching up to Duncan now. It's gonna be trying for a move pretty soon in that Williams. Does have it going here. He has his overtake on, and he is going for it. Who's gonna come out in front here, going around on the inside? Battery does get it done. He's gonna hold that P3 for now. Duncan is gonna be coming back at him pretty soon though. Battery does seem to be on the better tire here right now. Just 6 laps old mediums. While Duncan's on hards, which are 5 laps old. Ace is down in up in P5 right now with his softs, which are 5 laps old. We got Battery going into the pits. Duncan's following him inside. Are they pitting or just serving a drive-through? I think they're serving a drive-through penalty. I'm assuming they served the drive-through penalty. From what I assume would happen if you go drive to the pits, is a drive-through penalty. So I'm assuming that's what's happening there. Ace is now up into P3 because of those two guys having to go through the pit lane for the drive-through penalty. He seem to be missing just the left side end plate of his front wing. Still going good at it. I gotta say, this track you can actually drive with just a little bit of end plate off. It's fine, as long as you know your braking zones and you are okay with your cornering. Should be pretty good. So Milan, as the race is going, we have 13 laps in. It's going to be a 36 lap race. It's Milan in P1, Jonathan in P2, Ace is P3 because of the incidents that happened. Battery is up in P4, Duncan P5. So it's Battery and Duncan that had the drive-through penalty, went through the pit lane, lost positions there. CB is down in P6. We got Jay in P7. He's chasing down CB right now. So let's have a look at how that fight is going down right now. There we have Jay going behind CB. Artenis is about 18 seconds behind all of these guys right now. So he is running his own race at the back in P8. He will still be getting good position there. Ace has pitted. He's now down in P7. That puts Battery. Battery is now up into P3. Duncan back to P4. CB's P5. Jay is now P6. Our closest gap does seem to be Jay and CB going here, because Jay is just about a second behind CB, chasing him down this track right now. It is so much of an interesting lap here. We'll take you just on board with someone just in a second to have a go at an entire lap around Zandvoort. These guys are getting pretty close. That's Jay in the Haas. Pretty decent livery from Haas this year. So that's Jay with about 50% ERS. Let's see, CB has about 37%. They would have a decent amount of ERS going, so they will be fighting each other down on this. Since it's the closest gap we have, we're going to follow these guys going around the track. And let's have a look at a full lap of Zandvoort riding on board with Jay and CB out in front right now. Let's see if these guys are going to go for it. Jay might be trying to get past him, but not just this corner here, just too tight of a squeeze. That's CB going on the outside. Just so curvy going around here. Pretty interesting track, I have to tell you. It's a fun race here. It's been a very, very eventful race so far. We have 3 drivers out of the race. Jay just about 2 tenths behind CB right now going. CB just kept it just a little bit more on the racing line going on that one there, but Jay is catching him, but just about getting close enough to actually just get a move done. He does seem to be saving his overtake ERS to go on that. He has DRS going down in this straight. He does use it now. Pretty close with these two guys going so far. Milan is out in front with about a 9.7 second lead of Jonathan right now. Battery down 14 seconds behind of Jonathan. So those guys have some pretty decent gas between them right now, which might be breaking down pretty soon. We have DRS going over CB with Jay here right now. He is still holding on to whatever overtake he has left with his ERS. It's on usually on, I think it's medium going until you change it to overtake. It's been interesting using the ERS function manual for this F1 2020 game. I know 2019 you were using it manual as well, but it was a little more work using it. You did have to change quite a few different settings to conserve and then use it depending on half lap overtake, medium or low or whatever you wanted it on. If you can put it on 0. These guys are getting pretty close. Not close enough for Jay to make a move as yet. We have Jonathan getting just under a second behind Battery right now as well. We're going to be following that battle as it goes. If CB does make any sort of mistake here, Jay will be just waiting just behind to capitalize and get a position done. He has DRS going down here as straight again. Just not close enough to just get a move done off of CB right now. Gap is getting smaller and smaller between Battery and Jonathan right now. Jonathan is on fresh tires. Jay is using overtake on CB, might be going for a move looking on the inside. He is going for it, taking it into the inside of the corner. And let's go on board with CB. He will not be able to get back that position for now. That was some good driving there from Jay and good defending from CB, but he just couldn't hold back Jonathan from that one. He did have the better pace going through the corner. CB is back out in front of Jay because... So let's see how this battle is going to continue going because Jay is just still under a second behind of him now. There are overtaking opportunities about a lot of places on this track, but still you got to get them done in the right spot or you do risk taking some damage. Gap out in front has changed just a little bit here. Let's see what we have. We have Milan still in P1 leading this race. We have Battery up into P2. Duncan is P3. CB is now in P4 with Jay just in P5 behind him. Jonathan down into P6 because he took a pit stop there. And Arten is in P7. 22 seconds behind Jonathan. Ace is down in P8. Currently 7 seconds off of the, let's call it a lap behind. Arten is there. And Jonathan is out of the session. Just riding on board with Artemis to see if we can see where Jonathan's car is on track. Because we're not entirely sure what has happened to him. So can say this hasn't been a good race so far, guys. It is a new track for every one of these drivers here. The game has been out not very long now for who had it for the 3-day early access and for whoever got it on the actual release date, which was yesterday. So I'm not sure how many of these guys had the game from yesterday only to have practice with this track, but it's been a pretty good track to drive on. Pretty good track for our first race for season testing. So not entirely sure what has happened to Jonathan there. He was running pretty good, then got down to P7. Ace is going to get past him pretty soon. So let's see how we are in front. We have Milan out in front with Hearts, which are 12 lap old. CB is now up to P3. So as it stands, we have 7 drivers remaining in this race, guys. We have Milan in P1. Duncan is P2, CB is P3, Battery is P4, Jay is P5, Artemis is P6, and Ace is P7. By the way, just for Ace, sorry, but I know you sent me a few invites to get online with you for F1 2020, but when you did send an invite, I was kind of working on my team career, so I didn't get to get online. So to him, sorry about that, because I usually do some practice with him sometimes. So there's a pretty significant gap between Milan and Duncan right now. and they both are on hard, which are 20 laps old. So this is pretty interesting to see. So how is Duncan is going to capitalize to respond to get a go at Milan, or Milan is going to be continue leading this race right up until the end, unless he can sort of make some sort of mistake, which you guys will be counting on, so they can get closer to him, or if he does make another pit stop. We got CB with 13 laps old tires as well. So our top three seem to be on tire compounds of the same lap old, and they're running, but with quite a bit of a distance between P1 and P2 right now. CB does have just 11 seconds behind between himself and Duncan, sorry. So that's something probably he could try and break down. Badby is another 6 seconds behind CB. He's going to try and break that down. He's down to 5.7 seconds as we're talking this through right now. Jay is another 13 seconds behind. And Artemis is 4 seconds behind of Jay. I know Ace is down at the back running his own race at the moment with about 54 seconds behind. He will be finishing P7 provided that someone doesn't DNF in front of him. Or he can work some sort of strategy out to get out in front. That's Barnaby coming through the last corner, going on the pit straight there now. He is, okay, so he is going to be lapping Ace here pretty soon. So guys, can say we haven't provided a pretty decent preseason race for F1 2020. It's been a pretty good game so far. I do see that a lot of people are having trouble with the game. When they first purchased it, they're having loading problems. I don't know, a lot of glitches happening, but I think Codemasters is trying to fix them as best as they can. It's good to see the lobbies running pretty decently well. Compared to F1 2019, where we used to have a lot of disconnection problems and such. As you guys know, I used to get disconnected at least twice during a race session for any esports league race. We haven't been disconnected not even once since this session has been started. So it's been going pretty well so far. I can say good job to Codemasters on this game. Pretty decent job, I gotta say. Cars are so much faster. Everyone's been saying it. Everyone's been talking about it, so I've actually experienced it myself. The cars are pretty much faster online. Do like the addition of the My Team career mode, and we have the regular career mode as well. You'll be adding patches in for every update everything that you need to update about the game, so it's going to be pretty good. And I've been really enjoying this race so far. That's Milan with the fastest lap in his Ferrari with a 112.2. And as I said, guys, I see you guys posted on the Facebook group for F1 2020. The fastest time around here is 1 minute 10 seconds. Of course, that's talking qualifying time here. So right now we are not down to the end as yet. And those were on hards. Milan just posted a 112. So my fastest time was about a 113 or 112. I can't even remember. But these guys are going to get faster as they go to the end of the race. The cars are getting less fuel in them as they keep going around and around. So the cars will become lighter. They're going to make faster lap times if these guys in the front do decide to pit again before the end of the race, which I'm assuming they should be doing, because we still have over about 13-14 laps more to go. Those hards are not going to survive, even being it's F1 2020. I can't say that they're going to survive going all the way to the end of this race. And that was Bradley getting a move done on CB? Yes, it was. Because that is CB now down into fourth. That gap was there. It was broken down, so pretty good job on Bradley for getting that done. We got, is that Jay right behind? There is someone right behind CB, or there's a lap car coming. That's probably, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's Ace coming there. He is a lap car. So yeah, so our top two guys and the guy now down to P4 will have to pit again. Going on those softs coming down to the end of the race, they will probably do. I want to see the fastest time that they're going to be posted on for this race. It's going to be pretty interesting to see. That's Ace losing it on that turn there. He was ghosted, so can't say CB messed anything up for him there. Because he was a lap car, so he'll be ghosted for CB to go through. Let's see how Man is doing out in front. I do love this last corner coming onto the pit straight here. It's a pretty interesting turn. And if you don't get it right, you're not going to make it all the way through. That was the faster time with a 112.4 now. So Milan has tires which are 18 laps old, and he's still posting the fastest lap times in the race. He just set a personal best on that lap. Let's see if he can get a better one done before he does change again. I'm not sure what the lifespan is of these tires during the online sessions. So that's actually what I'm pretty curious about right now, to see how well these tires are going to last. He does seem to have a decent amount of grip going around the turns right now, so I can't say that how badly these tires are gone. So this is the first online session for F1 2020 that I have been spectating and actually streaming a race for. So some of the things I was pretty intrigued to see, especially the pit stop strategy for each car as I was scrolling through just as the race got started there. That was interesting to see. I think Codemasters was a bit still tinkering that, and that is Milan into the pits now. We got battery 56 seconds behind him. Milan has enough time to get into the pits, switch onto softs, and get out back into P1 out in front. He does have enough time to do this. And he will still have a gap between himself and battery, which who is now down into P2 currently, coming on 5-lap all medium, so he's not going to be pitting anytime soon. We have CB coming down. He's in P3. And his tires are pretty gone as well. He's gonna have to be pitting pretty soon. So guys, it's pretty interesting to see how well tires are doing on these online sessions, because we seem to have Duncan on 24 lap old softs, if that graphic is correct on our screen right now. Because there could be glitches happening, we don't know, but that Duncan does seem to be on soft compound tires which are 24 laps old. How is that even possible? I do not know to tell you this. Yeah, even the graphics on the car shows it's soft compound tires on this car, but it's showing 24 laps. And that was an incident between Jay and Duncan there. Duncan is now into the pits. Jay is trying to straighten himself up and get back on track. He'll probably have to go in the pits as well, as he has a damaged front wing now. 5-second penalty for Jay for speeding. That is Duncan going back out in front of him there. He's going to be going on to softs and changing his front wing. This is Duncan getting out of the pits now. Both have pitted. So we got Milan on fresh tires right now, working a pretty fast lap here in that Ferrari. And let's see, we do not have any current close gap as it would be. Pretty good view. And that is a 110.8 from Milan, fastest lap of the race so far. So let's see how much faster these guys are going to get now that they're changing onto their last pit stop strategy tires here and going at it. So we got Batterby down in P2 on with a 47-second gap between himself and Milan out in front. And there's another 23 seconds for CB down in P3. Another 21 seconds for Duncan out in P4 behind CB there. Jay is behind Duncan. P5, 40 seconds gap. Jay was out in front of Duncan. They had just a little bit of incident before they both of them had to go into the pit lane and change off the tires. Artness is down into P6, 10 seconds behind of Jay. And Ace is down 22 seconds behind of Artness now. So we lost two, that's 4 guys out of this race. 7 guys remain. Pretty good driving for everyone so far. We did have a few incidents on this track, but it is a new track. The game is new for everyone. So far, it hasn't been more than a week as yet, I'll say. No, I don't think it hasn't passed a week as yet for this game being out. The early access coming to now. Yesterday, most people have gotten it. I'm not sure how everyone got it on so far, but minimum practice it's been for everyone coming onto this race so far. I have to say, comparing the time, especially with learning the track and the curve, but this hasn't been a hard track to learn. I'll say from my personal experience, it's been a pretty easy track to learn. Get around the corners. Just about just chaining some of the corners is a little bit tricky sometimes if you're not on the right line. I gotta say though, the Vietnam Hanoi circuit is a little more difficult than this one, so it'll be pretty interesting to see how the guys handle that one. And when they get there, they have enough time from now until we start the season to get to that race. The season will be starting this month here. So we'll have our first race as Australia pretty soon. Should be, provided the guys are doing the race in the season order. So there are currently no close gaps, no battles to follow here on track at the moment until these guys start to break the gap down just a little bit. So we see most of our front runners are on fresh tires, except Battery. His tires are 9 laps old compared to the guys around him right now. And we have also Artness with tires which are 12 laps old. So it's been a very, very good race so far. Milan has been doing some excellent driving. They're out in front in P1 with a 51-second lead off of Battery right now. Australia next Saturday. Okay, so just got confirmation from one of the guys down from All Stars League. So it's Australia. Our first race is going to be next Saturday. Thank you for that info, MX. Yes, I really can't remember. I knew I checked it, I think, but I just couldn't remember at the moment. But thanks for that. Yes, so first race of the season for All Stars Racing F1 League will be next Saturday. It's going to be at the same time. Time is, as far as I know it, it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's from me. That's my time. It's 3 p.m. CST and 9 p.m. BST. I think that's the correct time. If I have it wrong, someone correct me, please. But I think that's it. So it's going to be a first race at Australia. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how the guys handle there. I haven't actually used one of the online cars as yet at Australia to see how well the curves are there right now compared to F1 2019. I did have a pretty hard time with it on the My Team career, but I know that's much different than the regular career mode and from online. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how well that goes. Yeah, Brandon, I wish you could in this race too, but I saw you posted a message. You had some stuff to take care of. That's okay. It's just preseason race, but I'm really hoping we do have you in Australia for the first race. Quite sure you'll be there. I don't think you want to miss that opening race of the season, and I'm hoping we have more guys on grid as well. Because I know you guys are recruiting some new guys for the league and getting clean drivers as well. I know you have to put them through a little bit of testing, make sure that they're okay with their driving, clean racers, and such. So I hope so. You're going to be number 12 on the grid with these guys here, and hopefully we get a few more guys added for the first race. So it should be a pretty good race for Australia. So Milan has now increased that gap for over. It's almost a lap. He's probably going to be lapping Battery before we get to the end of this race. Come on, guys. How do we have Milan so far out in front? What's happening? Someone might have to check to the Ferrari to see what's going on. Milan is so far out in front right now. He's probably going to be seeing who should be. I'm not sure who he's going to be lapping right now. But he's coming up to lap someone right now. But this has been a pretty good race so far. I cannot say I haven't enjoyed watching this race and streaming it for the league. It's been pretty fun. Love the fact that they chose this track. Everyone voted for this track for the preseason race. But looking forward to Australia next week. I will be available. I'll tell you from right now. I'll be streaming every race for the league. It's only because of this league that I have actually obtained the F1 2020 game. So can't disappoint these guys, and I love watching them race. So I'm going to be streaming every single race on every Saturday here at 4 p.m. EST, 3 p.m. CST, and 9 p.m. BST. However, whatever time zone you're in, I'm not sure, but that's the tree we usually work with. So for me, it's a pretty decent time. I'm actually able to stream the races, and I love doing it. So we're going to keep working on this. So it's going to be Saturday race day for this league every week. I know there are 2 breaks between the races during the team, but I will actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to have I think I downloaded the schedule of the league Discord. I'll have the schedule posted onto our Facebook page, and also I'll be adding it to the description on this video after I finish the stream. Later tonight I'm going to be adding it to the description, so on every stream that we do for the league, everyone will be able to see, and we have a close gap happening between Ace and Artemis here. As I get back to that, 5 seconds behind, so let's see if he can actually catch up. We're just going to write a board here to measure just a little bit. Yeah, so we're going to actually put all of the information of the league into the description. If I can get some information for all of the drivers as well, I'm going to be doing that and just adding it into the description of all the videos, so everyone who watches whatever race you watch, you can actually get information on the league, and their Facebook page link also will be added along with my Facebook page link in the description. So follow both. Subscribe to the channel for all the league races, which are going to be streamed live right here, and all updates for races will be put here as well. So all information will be available in the description. Any information I need, I'll get from Brandon or CB later on and add it in, so we can get all of that sorted out, and we'll get everything ready by the time we get to next Saturday for Australia. I gotta say, man, I really like this track at Australia. Albert Park, I really love that track, but I never have luck at it whenever I'm doing the career mode. I've told everyone I'm doing the stream, I never have luck at Australia when I'm doing the career mode. I always crash out, always a DNF. Something's always going to happen. I always get up in a good position and then just lose it. I don't know why, but it happens that way. But I do like the track. I don't dislike it for that. It's a pretty good track. It's you know, some pretty good, interesting corners, pretty good straights for some top speeds, and a lot of overtaking opportunities on that track. So I can't say I dislike it one bit. Milan has now lapped Barnaby, who is a lap behind of him. Yep, that's Milan out in front of him there. 1 lap and a few seconds behind. He is. CB is about 16 seconds behind Barnaby right now. Gaps are becoming just a little bit smaller now, so we just have 1.5 lap more to go before the end of the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Pretty good race in the Netherlands. If you're not familiar where this track is, it's a Zandvoort, Circuit Zandvoort, and it's in Netherlands. Pretty interesting track. I look forward to seeing you guys race here for the season race. So this has been the pre-season race. Pretty good race so far. Everyone getting used to the game still. So I guess about quite a few guys are going to be doing one last lap here, because Milan is going to be going into lap 36 here pretty soon now as he comes onto the pit straight. We will just ride aboard with him on his final lap around Zandvoort. Also, what I find very interesting about the game, guys, is that the engine sounds on every car is different. I don't know if you hear it off your TV speaker or whatever you're using, but I'm using the headphones. I can hear the difference in the engine sound as you drive the cars around. Most of the guys who I got feedback from about the game, they're telling me about the engine sounds. Everything sounds different. People love different cars just because of the way the engine sounds now. My team career car, the engine actually sounds so much different. But the only thing I don't know about my team is that if you have chosen Renault, if you've chosen Mercedes, if you've chosen Honda, if you've afforded Ferrari, if you're actually able to hear the difference in engine sounds on those, I assume you should. It's been pretty interesting doing all of this so far, and I'm really happy that we actually had this race and we're starting the season so early here, and hopefully we get more drivers though. It's going to be a pretty good race. I love the liveries on all the cars. It's been interesting so far. So we have Milan coming around to the last corner. I think it is here now. Yes, he's coming around to the pit straight and should be finishing here in P1. Congratulations to Milan for doing an excellent race down in out in front of P1 there. We have Battery coming. He's coming around the final corner now and will be in P2. With CB just 4 seconds behind him, he broke that gap down pretty fast there, but it's just little bit too late. Didn't have enough laps to catch up to Battery to have a battle going on there. So that's CB into P3. We got Duncan coming in for P4. And that's Duncan over the line for P4. We got Jay coming the last few corners to go, and he will be in P5 at Artemis in P6 and Ace down in P7. So our finishing positions should be as follows. Milan in P1, Battery is P2, CB P3, Duncan P4, Jay P5, Artemis P6, and Ace is P7. Hopefully when the final table comes up, it should be the same, unless there was some sort of penalties to, you know, change our positions around just a little bit. But let's just see if the table does change just a little bit, because CB was getting pretty close there. Just about a 5-second gap. Driver of the day, one of the new features added. Battery is the driver of the day. Congratulations, Battery. That's not decided from me. That's decided from the game, actually. Codemasters have added that in. So every time an online session is over, they automatically will give us a driver of the day. So it's Battery. I was actually trying to figure something out for that for the new season. And there we have a new emote stuff, I think we call it. Yeah, they get to do that. The P1 driver. It's a good job on Milan for getting that done with his Ferrari. Pretty good race. Actually, excellent race from him. Alright, so the table should be coming up now. Yeah, so there we go. That's Milan P1, Battery P2. CB P3, Duncan is P4, Jay is P5, Artemis P6, 7 goes to Ace, Jonathan is P8, Matt is P9, Beefy is P10, and Shadow down in P11. That's the grid spots for 11 drivers. Pretty good race, I gotta say. Got a few penalties handed out. CB got 1, Jay and Artemis both got 2 penalties, 2-3 seconds. So not bad driving from the guys for the first preseason race that we have for our Esports series. So good job from the drivers so far. That's gonna be it for this stream, guys. Do subscribe to the channel, because all the esports races or F1 2020 will be right here every Saturday for All Stars Racing F1 League, and time will be in the description added to the video. That's it, guys.